but now is not the time to let your guard down. We have a tornado watch until midnight tonight. We are looking at multiple rounds of the possibility of the severe weather, possibly tornadic weather as well. So yeah, I just kind of want to reset the view. It's getting late now. We're coming up on 11:11 right now. Everybody's messaging me saying, can you go to bed? That tornado watch is until 3 a.m. We are far from being out of the woods. However, things are starting to slow down a little bit. We haven't had near as many tornado warnings or as many severe thunderstorm warnings in northeastern Mississippi, but notice there are still more storms to come. Tornado warning for that storm we were just talking about in southern Jackson County. The tornado warning just includes Jackson County until 1:15. Section, you need to be in your safe location right now. That rotation just on the west side of town. Pisgah, we're talking about in the next 10 minutes or so. It's going to be headed really towards the same areas that we just had that first tornado warning come through. So Section, Pisgah, Ider, Higdon. If you're in your safe spot, stay there. If you've gotten out, get back in there. These are moving very quickly. We're talking northeast at 50 miles per hour. So again, new tornado warning in southern Jackson County, tracking to the northeast very quickly. The storm is really rapidly wrapping up here. So I'm going to get in a little bit closer and look at the winds here and talk more about the rotation that we're seeing. So again, it's that little hook that you're seeing just on the west side of a section there where you're seeing those brighter greens really stand out. Still what I'd qualify as broad rotation, but that hook is what is concerning, and that's, I'm sure, why the National Weather Service, we've got plenty of spin in the atmosphere. That's why the National Weather Service issuing that tornado warning. Even though you're not seeing it next to those reds, again, it's these bright greens next to the darker greens and grays where you're seeing the winds inbound and outbound from the radar site. So this is where we're going to be seeing that tighter rotation. There's the town of Section. Again, we're talking about southern Jackson County, looking at winds up to 80, 90, even 100 miles per hour possible out of this. So again, rotation right now, that's where we're looking at that hook. And again, may stay on the northern side of Section, but Section, stay in your safe location. That's going to be in the lowest level interior of your room. So hopefully your NOAA weather radio went off. If you do lose power, keep in mind that we are streaming coverage on WAFF.com, the news and the weather apps. We've got Facebook updates, and we're also streaming on our radio partners as well. So Brad's plotting some street levels here. This is going to be heading towards Scenic Drive, State Route 35 and State Route 2 as well. So Section, stay in your safe location. This is going to be heading towards the same locations that we just mentioned, even into northern DeKalb County. Not included in that warning right now, but again, I want to say Pisgah, Ider, Henniger, now's the time to get in your safe location. There's Scottsboro for reference. I do think that this is going to stay to the south of Scottsboro, but if this tracks to the north and to the east, we're still looking at the possibility of very heavy rainfall. It's a very small storm, but really quickly wrapping up. Again, we've got a lot of spin in the atmosphere. This tracking very quickly to the north and to the east. So Section, you already need to be in your safe spot, but that's going to put it in Hodge at 12:32. So that's in the next 4 minutes. Dutton, 12:34. Morris Mill, and there you saw the latest scan there. Morris Mill, 12:39. Georgetown, 12:39. Pisgah, 12:41. Central, 12:43, and Rosalie, 12:46. So again, very quickly moving to the north and to the east. We're getting updates every couple of minutes, but at this little notch here that you're seeing on the backside of the storm, even though it's small, it's still showing those signs of rotation, and that's where we could have a possible tornado out of this. So this is the second tornado warning for Jackson County. So again, tornado warning continues until 1:15 a.m. as we kind of broaden out the view there. There's Scottsboro again for reference. DeKalb County, we're talking about northern DeKalb County if it clips that area. So headed towards Pisgah in the next about 10 to 15 minutes or so. Ider, although it may stay to the north of you, it's not going to be a bad idea to be in your safe location right now, even though DeKalb County is not currently included in that warning. Kind of resetting the view here again, it's that very small storm that we're tracking for that tighter rotation. That tornado warning that we had roll through earlier, that is now in northwestern Georgia, and we're starting to see a lot of rain and thunderstorms. This is actually good news. It's going to ramp up that flash flooding threat, but when things start to slow down and spread out, that's usually an indication that they're showing showing signs of weakening. You've noticed we haven't had as many severe thunderstorm warnings or as many tornado warnings come out in the last couple of hours, but Brad's putting a storm track on, I believe, still a severe thunderstorm warning on this one?
Squall line.
Okay, so still a severe thunderstorm warning moving out of Lawrence County into Morgan, Limestone, and Madison County. So we're talking straight line wind potential up to 60, 70 miles per hour. That puts it between Cortland and Moulton right now, tracking towards Decatur at 1245, as well as Tanner. If it holds together into Madison County, we're looking at a 1 a.m. arrival time for Madison, Harvest, and then shortly thereafter in the Huntsville metro area. So that line that you're seeing of those bright reds indicating the higher wind potential. So straight line winds. Again, we're all going to see this congeal into one line. We've been talking about this, that after midnight, that's what we are going to be seeing happening. Less supercells, more straight line wind damage, and that's what is currently occurring. So all of this is just going to be one solid line of rain with embedded higher wind gusts. And it's where you're seeing those brighter greens here from Cortland to Moulton. Brad is plotting some wind speeds on here. So maybe up to 60, 65 mile per hour straight line wind gusts. So probably going to have some scattered power outages. Again, we are streaming several locations, Facebook, social media, on the apps, online, and of course on our radio partners as well. And just prolific lightning out there. I bet it's quite noisy. There's a look at those lightning totals. So again, 65 mile per hour straight line wind gust possible between Cortland and Moulton, moving away from Hatton right now, and that's going to be tracking towards Decatur. Should stay on the north side of Hartselle. I believe that's where Elizabeth Gentle is as well, but she does have more rain and lightning headed her way as well. So if that holds together, that's going to put it in the Madison metro area around 1 a.m. So in the next half hour, and in the Huntsville metro area as well. So we've got that severe thunderstorm warning across Lawrence County right now, moving into Morgan, Limestone, and Madison County. And that tornado warning does continue for Jackson County and the very, very northern tip of DeKalb County as well. So and we're still monitoring anything that's developing to the south of this as well, because we could still see supercells develop south of this line. But once things starts to become more linear, that means the tornado threat will begin to lower, and that it'll become more of a straight line wind and a flood threat. I bet we have several flooding reports overnight.
Oh, we're